Welcome to the Daily Dish with New York Times bestselling author Leanne Ely. Putting vibrancy back into your everyday life and feeding your heart, mind, body, and soul. Join us every day at 1 p.m. Eastern for Motivational Monday, Tuesday's Tip, Wise Woman's Wednesday, Thirsty Thursday, Food Fight Friday, and of course Q&A, where no question is off limits, and Soulful Saturday. Here is your host, Leanne Ely, and the Daily Dish.
It's Saturday, and there's Elizabeth. First one to say happy Saturday. So glad you're here, Elizabeth, and I'm so glad you're here as well. Thank you so much for tuning in. Today, we're going to be ending V Week. You know what V Week was all about, right? Gosh, didn't we talk about everything? We even snuck velocity in there. Yes, everybody is getting ready for the Hot Melt 30. Hey, Renski, I haven't seen you in a while. Nice to see you. Lovely to have you on board. There's my girl, Joanne. So glad you're here. Carla's here from the Smoky Mountains. Beautiful area, by the way, that you live in Kentucky. Hello, Jen. V-Week. Yes. We're going to end it with vibrancy. Of course we are. Hi, Jackie. It's good to see you. I'm glad you're here. Vibrancy is, we keep talking about getting to vibrancy, being vibrant. We all want a vibrant life. Well, what is it exactly? Sharon's in the house. Susan's in the house. Tanya's in the house. Hello. So glad you're here. So glad you're here. We're going to get right down into what is vibrancy. We are, because it's important to know. Hi, Corliss, Tammy, and Angie. Thrilled you stopped by. You know, yesterday I wanted to, it's Food Fight Friday. You ever hear that in the intro and you're going, what are you talking about? I want to introduce to you simple little things that I'm finding interesting in the food department of life. And even though, you know, tea isn't necessarily a food, really, it's a drink, right? Hi, Denise. I'm glad you're here. Tammy, Angie. Liz, haven't seen you in a long time. I'm glad to see you as well. Look, Detox Tea. This is really tasty. It's a great way to do your water. I bought about 6 of them. I bought them in a case on Amazon. Just love it. This is my 3rd box that I'm through. I have it every day and enjoy it. I'm going to start enjoying it as iced tea. You know, there's all kinds of stuff in it. Well, let's see. I'll read to you what is in it. Oh my goodness. No, I'm not going to. Not all of them. But there's a little sarsaparilla, cinnamon, ginger, licorice, burdock, dandelion, cardamom, clove, black pepper, juniper berry, long pepper, rhubarb root, Chinese skullcap, coptis root, forsythia, and gardenia fruit. You like that? Anyway, all I want you to do is just check it out, because maybe something like this would be a fun way for you to break up the monotony of the water. I'm just telling you. Hello, Sarah. Yes, Lucy's in the house. Lucy, I'm glad you're here. And anyway, I wanted to tell you about that tea because I really enjoyed it. It's really quite tasty. Having a tea, an herbal tea, help to break up your water is pretty fun. It's pretty fun stuff. The other thing is, you know, we always start off our whole week, and I guess this is sort of the starting of a whole week or end a week or whatever, with a new quote of the week. Hi, Shauna. Hi, Martha. Hi, Kathy. Hi, Debbie. Good to see you. Here's our new quote. And listen, we're starting the Hot Melt 30. Do you guys know what that is, right? If you don't, go to savingdinner.com/30 and will you trust me on this one? It is taking Hot Melt Sprint to a whole nother level. We're going to the moon, y'all, to the moon. Everybody's getting ready for the Hot Melt 30, and we have a really great group doing it. Shauna, I would love all of you. Come on board. Look at this. Check it out. One reason people resist change is because they focus on what they have to give up instead of what they have to gain. Is that fire or what? Here come the fire bombs. Elizabeth dropping the fire bombs. Dropping. Lucy, I love that tea too. Cinnamon Celeste seasoning. Good. This is fire right here. You know what this is? This is your set up for Hot Melt 30, right? Isn't it? Vanessa's in the house. Good to see you, Vanessa. Diane, glad you're here. It's everything, because the Hot Melt 30 is going to take you to the next level. Follow the plan and follow your life change, right? It's everything. This just connects the whole thing. Jenny and I were talking about this, and we were just like, are you kidding? And it was in the rotation. She didn't just go digging and bring this one up. It was in the rotation. I would say that's a coincidence, wouldn't you? Darn straight. What else do I have for you today? Also, speaking of things that go together, hello, the journal. Take Back Your Life journal will take you to the next level. Yes, I've done all the workshops already, but they're all recorded. You can still get on it. You know what? Now's the time. savingdinner.com/journal to read all about it. I want you to see what this is about because it's a life changer. And if you're in it every day like I am, you can't help but have your mind change and shift to the goals that you made because you're doing them daily. So good. Yes, divine appointment. Right on, Sarah. Great big old fireball, says Lucy. Bring them on. Bring them on. I'm so glad you're enjoying the journal, Joy. Sharon Joy, I should say. Tammy's here. Yes. Set up your stations. Get it already. You know what? When the time you invest in yourself, think about how much time we waste. How much time do you actually invest in yourself? Think about it that way. Setting up your hydration station, that is an investment in yourself. Setting up your food for success, investment in yourself. Having a plan, being in your community, investment. All of it is. We have to stop thinking, well, I don't want to spend the money. I don't want to do that. Come on. Are you going to invest in yourself? Or are you going to squander money on stupid stuff that will never give you back anything in return? What we're talking about here is a massive return. The ROI, massive, immense even. I love the word immense. I told you that. Hi, Carol. I'm glad you're here. Rhonda, I'm glad you're here. Yes. You guys got to see it all, the whole thing from the beginning. We also have our success tools. You know about them. The mindful mug. We have, and I'm just lightly going over the mindful mug. This is fire. This is everything. This is everything. This has a whole psychological prescription really behind it. You got to find out about it at savingdinner.com/mug. And we also have our quote deck. Now I had 2 quotes that I couldn't choose between them. Do you change yours out a lot? I do. Juanita's here. Good to see you, Juanita. Look at this. Pearls don't just lie on the seashore. If you want one, you have to dive for it. Pretty good, right? It's sitting here in my quote deck. What's on the stand, though, and that comes with your quote deck, by the way. This is the one that I have that's burning a hole in my brain right now. One of the happiest moments in life is when you let go of things you cannot change. How much do we need this reminder, right? I need it all the time. Thank you very much. Letting those things go, though, that is a huge energy suck. And you get that energy back, investment in yourself, right? I look at energy in the same terms as money. Because, if you spend your energy on stuff that's nothing, it's like going to the, dollar store and buying a bunch of garbage food, Why? It's not going to give you anything in return. This is an investment. So that's how I look at it. Elizabeth puts a new quote every morning and writes it on the fridge dry erase board for the entire family to read. That's brilliant. I love it. Yep. Look at, so Emily's making my point here. Single serve sodas around $2 with tax. Why not spend that one healthy option? It adds up. Agreed. Have you seen how that all works? Invest in yourself. I'm going to say that 150 million times. Invest in yourself. Invest in yourself. You can find the quote decks at savingdinner.com/quote. Now, a lot of you know our girl, Lucy. Lucy sent me something that made me cry. She said it was going to be your birthday party for your birthday. And then it turned into being a housewarming gift. And I was like, what is this? Because it's just this big box and it was all wrapped up and had to get through the tape, all the things. Look at this. This is a stained glass that she made for us on the lake. And do you see the puppy sitting there on the towel? Isn't that just glorious? So I want Mark to put little screws on it. I want to hang this in the window in the kitchen. But isn't this beautiful? I just love this. I love this. So Lucy, thank you. You touched my heart so much. You guys touched my heart. I mean, who does stuff like this? You guys do. It's just so beautiful. And of course, I told Jenny, I said, wait till you hear, blah, blah, blah. Jenny says, well, I knew. You know what? And I said, well, apparently I'm the only one who around here can't keep a secret. Oh my gosh, but it's so gorgeous. And I just absolutely love it, Lucy. I've got one of Lucy's art, the pretty one that she made me, the flower, the pink flower. It's here in my office. This one's going upstairs. You know where I love it is over a bathtub window or something. We don't have one of those. So it's, I want to hang it though and have it in the window. So that's what we're looking at doing. So thank you to you, Lucy. I love you and I appreciate you. And you touched my heart greatly. You know that, right? That was so sweet. So sweet. Isn't that so sweet? Anyway, yeah. So try not to cry. That I believe is, oh, and then don't forget, and these have been flying out the door, you guys. These have been flying out the door. Jackie got her order yesterday. Yay! Ta-da! What is this? What is this? What is it, you ask? It's the Core 4. These are the least that you can do for yourself supplement-wise. I want you to find out all about them. Listen, when you are an informed consumer, if you want to call yourself that, whatever, I say lovely. When you're informed, you make better decisions and you do better things. This is what I mean about investing in yourself. This is investing in your health. So check them out at savingdinner.com/show. We will also send you 4 paleo ebooks that have basic recipes in there that are mostly sprint friendly. You might see a few with maybe butternut or some kind of a winter squash, and just eliminate that. And there you go. You've got more sprint recipes. So this is a big deal. And I love these supplements are incredible. Now, one word, sometimes you get a niacin flush, which makes you get all fuzzy. And even sometimes people get bumpy, hives. It's genetics. Some of us get it, some of us don't. I unfortunately get it. I don't like it either. But some people get it real severely and others, but you're not going to die, okay? Let's hear it for not dying. Yay! Pinkies up for not dying. Oh my goodness. Lindsay's in the house. Okay, you guys, and how can I forget this? We have a new customer service rep named Lindsay. And listen, I haven't even spoken to her yet. I'm going to meet her on Monday. Jenny and Amber are lit up about Lindsay. And I'm thinking, well, you know what, gals, we're the dream team. So she's got to fit. She's got to fit. I wanted them to do it. This is the first time I've never spoken to any, but I trust implicitly. I trust Amber and Jenny's judgment. I do. And if they say she's it, then we're good to go. And I can't wait to meet her. So she is here. She's going to be lighting you up here. I think I don't know, maybe, is she on Saving Dinner? I don't know. I can't not cry. There she is, Lindsay Davis, right there. Say hi to Lindsay. And we're delighted to have you aboard, Lindsay. Really delighted to have you aboard. Can't wait to meet you on Monday. It's fabulous. Oh, Sarah, bye-bye. We love you. We love you. We love you. But, yes, come back. This is going to be this is a vibrant show. All about vibrancy. So we're delighted about Lindsay. We're delighted about you being here. I think you now have the full scoop of what's going on in Saving Dinner. Oh, one more thing. Now I'm not going to tell you. The skincare stuff. Not going to tell you. I am going to try to keep the secret, but my goodness. Oh my gosh. I can't wait. I can't wait to tell you about it. So there's that. And also the gala coming up. Wait till you see the prizes. Wait till you see the prize. I mean, the stuff that we're putting together right now is so fun. I want you to be a part of it. That's all. We are always do that. Yeah. And don't forget, that's how you get your questions answered. Send them into support@savingdinner.com. Question for Leanne on Friday. And we do it. Okay. That's just how we roll. Now, I tell you about all this stuff and I get you, I'm hoping that you're getting as psyched about this as we are, simply because we are such, look at Jen. Jen says, tell us about the new body care. Diane says, stop teasing us. Well, all systems are go. Let me just tell you, all systems are go. I will drop some more knowledge bombs about it later. I'm learning about it. There's so much to learn in this whole, I mean, it's like going into a whole different realm. You know, when we did our skincare, for our very first skincare, this is our first skincare. By the way, this is, if you don't have this is basic. This is like the core four. This is our Wise Women's skincare, and it's just off the hook. Great. And it lasts forever. Have you noticed that? Lasts forever. And I absolutely adore it, and I use it every single night, every single morning. But we've got the next level stuff coming. That's all I'm going to tell you. And I am thrilled about it. But learning about this stuff, there's a lot to learn. And you know what the really cool part is? They are right here. They're in Fletcher, North Carolina. They're about 35 minutes up the street from us. So I'm really thrilled about that because I can go and see it being made, all of that. I'm going to tell you all about it when Jenny's not listening, okay? Anyway. All right, that's it. That's all I'm going to say. My lips are sealed otherwise. Yes, it is. See, Jen says that skincare is a game changer. She's right. It is a game changer because there's nothing in it that is extra. It's all on purpose. And that's the whole thing, you know, and I always say, if you can't eat your skincare, you've got really, that's very true. When you have skincare that has a bunch of scary ingredients in it, remember our skin, it literally is going into our bloodstream. Anything that you put on your skin is going into your bloodstream. Okay. That's how toxins get introduced. We don't do that. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Jenny's always listening. So forget it. Forget it. I'm going to have to open a secret group for that. All right. Today we're wrapping V-Day. We're at V-Week. And what a week it's been. What an interesting time it's been. Next week, we're going to be flipping fear all week. Flipping fear. In our Hot Milk Sprint group, I asked a question. I said, tell me about a fear. You know, share your fears. Share a fear that you've had. We all have some kind of a fear. Sometimes we feel a little fearful of sharing our fears, but fear is a natural part of the human equation. Sometimes they're valid, and sometimes it's just old stuff. Sometimes we need to reevaluate and take a look at it like, is this even, factual anymore? Is this even a part of anything anymore? And that's what I'm going to be doing next week. And I'm writing all of those down. Believe it or not, I'm going to write the whole thing down, and we're going to go through it all. Because my whole goal for you is to be as much of an encouragement and support as I possibly can. And if there's something that I say next week that's going to help to release you a little bit from that fear, then I'm all in. Okay? Pinky's up on that one for sure. And today we're going to talk about vibrancy, because talk about the polar opposite of fear is vibrancy, because vibrancy is the thing that lights us all up. I call it that something extra, that it is what takes a good life and makes it great, because vibrancy is unbelievably everyone's favorite thing. Everybody wants vibrancy. I don't know of a single solitary soul on this planet that doesn't want a vibrant life. How can you not want a vibrant life? So I looked it up, of course, because I think, and two, by the way, when I was doing this, as I was going to sleep last night, I was thinking about this, and because I write these things out in the morning and after I meditate and have my morning ritual. And I was thinking about this, and what came to my mind is vibrancy is a practice. Just like meditation is a practice, and, doctoring is a practice, a dental practice. What does that mean? It means that it's done over and over again. We practice something. We practice the piano. We practice these things. We have to practice vibrancy. It doesn't just come naturally for most of us. It is something that we do on purpose and get into and make a decision about. I want vibrancy. Okay. So what does that mean? It means the state of being full of energy and life. Doesn't it just say it all? Can you just see the rainbows and the stars and the rockets exploding from that definition? I do. And I see that and think, yes, exactly. That's what I want. That fullness, that abundance, that overflow of how you feel, the energetic thing about your life. Vibrant. Number 2 is the striking brightness and color. And I think about that, and we had a few years ago, we did Take Back Your Life, living your life in living color. That was the whole thing about it. And, this is before we even started tossing around the term vibrancy all the time. But that's what it was all about. It was just having that beautiful color in your life, having that brightness, having that striking brightness. I love that. So much so that it makes the colors look different. Everything looks different when it's in color, doesn't it? Years ago, do you remember when Turner Broadcasting bought a bunch of old MGM films and what have you, and they went and they colorized them? Well, you would have thought, everybody lost their nonsense with that. You would have thought that it was like the end of the world. Not the end of the world. Not the end of the world. What it was just somebody changing things up to add a little color and put a little color into it. But we can't do that really, that particular way. It always looks a little bit muffled. But what if we started seeing things from the outset in living color? What if we started seeing things from their striking brightness and how beautiful they really are? I believe it takes a minute of gratitude to be able to do that. That's why we have gratitude in our journals every day. It brings us back to that place, that beautiful self place, being in center of yourself, your higher self, so that you can see these things. Otherwise, we're just rushing through our day, aren't we? I feel like I have a pencil in my hair, but I don't. The third meaning for vibrancy is strength and resonance of sound. Now, a couple of weeks ago, probably even just last week, I shared or I told you about a vibrational something. I've talked about low vibe, high vibe, and being in vibration and all of that. And it sounds all real new agey and whatever, but it's just science is what it is. And that there's low vibration and high vibration. And the lower you go, the lower the vibration, you'll be a brick. Versus the higher vibration, you're going to be a puppy. but you can see the energy levels. And they can measure this. They can measure higher vibration and lower vibration. And the interesting thing about it is that this is why I say I believe with all of my heart that God is in the details. So in the details. Because if you take a vibrational plate and you put sand on it and you do it in low vibe, you'll get a little bit of a pattern. But you put it in high vibration, you're going to get this intricate, beautiful pattern, like gorgeous snowflakes that have been caught, these beautiful. And this is when you see that, and sorry, side note, and for those of you who don't necessarily share the same views that I do, spirituality-wise, I guess would be the word, I see a hand on everything. I see his hand on everything. I see it's just, and the delight of creating a snowflake that looks like, the delight of seeing humans go, what is this? When watching the vibrational energy create these beautiful patterns. Going hiking in the woods and seeing lady slippers and seeing just the beauty of it all. It just, if you get struck by the awe and the wonder, that's vibrancy. Because the vibrancy of the whole thing is it's just mind-boggling, isn't it? There's the sand. Jenny just posted the sand vibration video. It's worth a look-see. And I want you to see it with these eyes, because these are the eyes that understand that, we're not ultimately in control of all the things. We are the creators of our own lives. We do have that capacity for all of that. But there is a grand design behind everything. Every little teensy weensy thing, from your pinky fingerprint all the way to just vibration making beautiful patterns. It's incredible to me. And if you think about it and meditate on it, it can be almost overwhelming in a way, but an overwhelming joy of knowing that there is divine purpose for all of this. And that's why I always remind you of who you are and tell you that you are the apple of God's eye, created on purpose and for purpose, fearfully and wonderfully made. It's just the truth. So the traits of vibrancy aren't just great enthusiasm and all of that, but to me, it's a creative process that's used to create the customized, personalized life that you hotly desire. Because when we hotly desire something, we go after it, don't you? I I think about all the things, in my life that I've ever really wanted and just gone after it. Just boom, full steam ahead. When I was 13, I had my dreams crushed. I wanted a horse really bad. Of course, it didn't happen. My girlfriend down the street got a horse, and so I was just like, "Whoa!" I was boggled. My mind was boggled that I didn't get a horse too. I wanted a horse. But I realized, as I went on, I still, just because you want something and you got to do something about it, And I look at it now and I think what I would have done differently, I would have probably done fundraising for it. I probably would have mowed more lawns. I probably would have done all the different things for money. I would have called the stable and say, "Can I muck stalls?" I would have been more on it. But that's wisdom speaking to the 13-year-old of who I was at the time. For me at the time, and I think this is where we get stuck, is in our 13-year-old self, of just, we sit and we pine for something that we really want. There's no doing involved. And that's where the frustration is, and that's where you lose the motivation to do anything, and that's where the vibrancy gets unplugged. Vibrancy is a connection to all of these things by the doing of your life and going toward the things that you want. Yes, Starla says, on purpose, for purpose, and amen. So we have to know that. So one of the biggest things, though, and before I go into that, because I've got 5 things for you coming up, but a couple of things that I just want to say about vibrancy that I have noticed. This is my noticing. Deborah, look at you. You're just like on it. She's here again. She's here again live. And that's connection. What I have seen, because I have run, can I tell you how many Facebook groups I've run? Since the inception of Facebook groups and before, I've run a lot of groups. And there's never, ever been a more vibrant group than the Hot Melt Sprint group that I've seen. Now, we're doing this from the Saving Dinner page because that's where websites and people put their pages together. And then you make the smaller groups, the subsets, if you will, of people who want to get a little bit more into the weeds and do things. And although you could have like hundreds of thousands of people in these smaller groups, these little groups. But our group is amazing. It really, it is outstanding. It is stellar. It is unlike any other group I've ever run. And that is because of the quality of the women who are there and what they bring. They bring their best. They post, they encourage, they support. And I always say on my watch, nobody gets left behind, but I'm not the only one. Everybody who is a part of this group says the very same thing, is doing the very same thing. They're saying the same thing. They're there. I'm here to encourage. I'm here to support. You need me to pray? I will pray. And people feel it and know it. Our Noreen, for example, she was, asking for prayer and what have you. And then she put an update and she said, "I just knew. I was there by myself and I just knew you were all praying for me." That's vibrancy, my friends. That's how it shows up. Not just in, "Look at me, look what I did. Here's my before and here's my after." Or, "Yay, I lost 7 pounds," or whatever. It's not just that. It's all the things. It connects all that dots. And you know what else it connects? It connects you to a community of lovely women who truly care about you. Truly care about you. So much so, and they care back. So much so that Eileen, for example, will go into the bathroom at work and create a 4-minute video for everybody to watch. Sharon danced. She chair danced for us, and she got down on it, even though her music got taken off. We had a whole bunch. People show up. They show up, and they show up so they can connect to you and so they can love you up. You get that. And that's what connection is. And I wrote down, what is connection? Well, it does help create vibrancy. But out of connection, what does it come? I'm just going to read these to you. Love, friendship, relationships, collaboration, a shared vision. That's right, Margaret. It's not just losing weight, it's life. That's right. A shared vision, challenges, community, communion, even a step further, family, sisterhood, businesses, partnerships, marriage, even. I mean, you guys are all married, but have you noticed that this helps to improve your life with your spouse? All because of connection. Connection is the thing. And we're meant to do this together, because without connection, what are we left with? We're left with isolation, loneliness, depression, despair, and feelings of being left out. That happens. And I get that. But if you're not there, you're not there. And I mean, that's what happens. But connection's the fixer. It's the Band-Aid for this whole thing. And then how you react and how you then in turn around and do unto others, that's when this whole thing starts to come full circle. So we have to just really understand this, that we're wired to be like this. This is how we are created. This is how we're created. And without it, we feel empty inside. Have you noticed that? Because being alone that's not what it's for. That's not what we're here for. If we're here on purpose and for purpose, we're here to help one another. And we get to do that. And when we get to do that, we feel purposeful. And when somebody comes back and says, when you said X, Y, and Z, that meant everything to me. I knew you were praying for me. All of this, that is what creates the vibrancy. Right there, that's what it is. So while that's foundational, it's connection also with yourself. That's one of the keys. And I say that because I want you connected to everyone outside of you, obviously, and in this community, because I know you're going to be fed well. But you also need to connect with yourself. And that's one of the things that's why we talk about Soulful Saturday and your beautiful self. Connecting with yourself is part of the whole thing, because if you're going to be the creator and the designer and the architect and the builder of the vibrant, gorgeous life that you want to live, then you need to be connected to who you are and what it is that you want and why. The biggest thing, and the biggest thing that we get that gets in the way is the house. We always get all hooked up on the house. When I always say, park your how. Park your how for right now, because if you park your how, then I promise you your reticular activating system will be looking for the how, and things will start to fall in place. If you're hotly desiring a vibrant life, hotly desiring to do things that are within your talent stack, that are within your heart, and they serve, you're going to find your purpose, and it's going to be magnificent. It will be magnificent. And purpose isn't just one time. It's all the time. It's all the time, really. There's always something new following up. There's always something new. Your kids grow and leave the home. And I mean, when I started saving dinner, my children were still at home. My children have been gone for a while. They're 30 and 31 years old now. They're grown. So while I still want to help families get back to the dinner table, I know that we have a whole community of women who their kids have long gone, but they are wanting to get back to themselves, figure all that out, and get back and find their purpose. What is my purpose now that my children are gone? What is my purpose now that I'm widowed or divorced or whatever? What is my purpose now that I'm retired? What is my purpose now that I'm here in the midst of this mid-change of life and menopausal and going through all these? I mean, wherever you are in your life, seasons change, and so does your purpose. And as we allow for that, and we keep looking and keep desiring to help others, that is when the vibrancy sets in, and that is when things start to come together. I promise you they do. And it's always, usually, I should say, not always, but it's usually in a way you don't expect. And that's part of the fun of the whole thing. Remember, we have a God who delights in making snowflakes the way he does. He delights in creating all these oddball things out there in the universe. He delights in all of these different things just so that we'll be delighted to see an iguana or a weird orchid that looks like a little tiger or whatever it is. That's who is in charge of this whole mishmash of crazy, right? And for us to have this, we have to get off the carousel of crazy. We have to get off the carousel of crazy, because the carousel of crazy will never lead us to vibrancy. It only goes around and around. Vibrancy helps to build that bridge from here to there, the one that we need, We're all in the place of being here and wanting to go there. All of us. All of us. That's part of what goals are. And that bridge is built by you and your muscle and your grit and your vibrancy and your tenacity and your hot desire. Because when we connect with all of it, that's when the magic shows up. And it does. Have you noticed? It really does. When you get your eyes off your bloody jeans for a minute and stop worrying and hand-wringing about, gaining a pound or whatever it is, and start looking at your life and just start fueling it well, and start believing that your life is so much more than the color of your lipstick or the pair of your jeans, then that's when things start to snap together and fit. That's what our whole thing about. So, the tools and building materials, you know what they are. It's food, it's hydration, of course, because that's how we fuel it. It's your mindset, it's your movement, it's your habits. You know that. But you also have to create intentional goals to get all of these things. They don't just fall into your lap. It doesn't. But you know what the other thing is? What our biggest mistake is? We still think that there's this invisible audience sitting in front of us and that we have to crowdsource our goals. Like, should I do this or should I do that? That's why we talked about being vocal and having a voice in your own life and being the one to say, this is the direction that I want to go and this is what I want to do. Are you on board? Are you going to support me with this? This is your one shot, no one else's. It's your one shot. No do-overs. So what are you going to do with that? How are you going to live vibrantly? Well, here's a couple of things that I have for you. I've got 5 things for you, those of you who take notes. And by the way, you always get our show notes just by going to savingdinner.com and just signing up for the newsletter. It's that simple. Number 1, you need habits that serve you, not hold you down. You need habits that serve you. You need habits that build you up, not tear you down. You do. Your habits need to support that vibrant lifestyle. Your habits every single day need to be moving the needle a little bit closer, because it doesn't happen, boom, overnight. There you are. You've reached your goal. Doesn't work that way. It's little by little, ounce by ounce, drip by drip. That's how things work. It can either be Chinese torture, the Chinese torture thing that they did with the dripping, or it can be something that's just a little bit here and a little bit there, and it's all adding up and it's filling your cup. That's how I look at it, filling my little cup. And when you look at it that way and you understand that it's just not snap your fingers or boom overnight or anything like that, you have a lot more patience with yourself. And then that vibrancy starts to come just a little bit more and a little bit more. And you start to see a little sparkle and a little bit more optimistic, and you shift some thoughts that no longer serve you. And you start making habits that start to create this vibrancy. It all works together. Number 2 is the mindset has to support you too, because you can't do it if you're going to be sitting there having a negative tailspin. Negativity doesn't do anything except enhance more negativity and bring you down even further and bring you down even further. And it can further cause you to get into a full-on depression where you've got to go to see a doctor and get medicated, And the whole point is that if we just take a minute to examine the way we're thinking about things and say, is this even supportive anymore? Does this work for me? Is this serving me and my life and the people around me? Or is it just tearing me down? Why am I allowing this in? It's questions you have to ask yourself. Use the experience folder. Use all the different things that we can use so that we can get beyond all of that. And it takes like 30 times of flipping the switch before it finally starts to stick. So what do we say? We have grit, not quit. So keep at it. This is why we have the success tools that we are. This is going to remind you to fuel your life correctly. These quote decks are going to remind you of who you are. That's what these things do. And that's why they're here on purpose and for purpose, to help support the things that you're trying to do. I know you're trying to do. You've told me over and over again. Number three, we need food to fuel us. When we think of food in terms of bad and good, in terms of treats, and as opposed to nutrition, we're doing a couple of things. First of all, we're putting a moral equivalency on food, which is kind of crazy. The second thing that we're doing is when we talk about food as treats, we're treating ourselves like dogs, right? We have treats for Lincoln. We don't have treats for Mark and Leanne. We don't need treats. We need food for fuel for this life, this vibrant life that we want to live. We need to start thinking in terms of, is this going to help me feel better? Is this going to make my knees hurt? For example, or my hips hurt? Is it worth it? Or do I want vibrancy instead? There's an exchange always. And we have to think in those terms when we're thinking about food. There you go. A spa mani-pedi. I'll meet you there, Jenny. I want one so bad. It's on my list. Number 4 is movement. I have a pretty, and maybe it's a little bit absurd. You might think so. You might also think that, you're a little bit whacked out there. Leanne, I don't know about you. But when I think about movement and I think about not moving, I think it's a big fat slap in the face to God. Because here he is, he's given you arms and legs that move. He's giving you lungs that breathe. He's giving you all kinds of things. And to sit like a lump on the couch and not move and not do is basically saying, so what? If you don't use it, you will lose it. This includes your muscle. This includes your bone mass. This includes all of it. And we know so much. The science has taught us a lot. As a thank you to him, we need to get our butts up off of the couch and move it to preserve it so that we can serve better, so that we can be on purpose and for purpose. We can't do that if we're saying, thumb your nose. I'm just going to sit here. I just think it's wrong. So get your can up off the couch and do something. You have 10 minutes on YouTube. Do a 4-minute workout. A couple of little things. Walk around the block. Your dog will love it. Do things just a little bit. And it's also going to wake you up. You're going to get the dose, a big thank you back from your body. You know what your body's going to do? Your body's going to say thank you and go, boom, serotonin. Boom, have some dopamine. We can't just sit. We're not meant for that. That's why they say sitting is the new smoking. There's all kinds of health issues, connected to that. So take a look at that. Just think about that one. Will you promise me you'll meditate on this? Those of you who aren't moving, I'm not slapping you down and saying you're worthless, you're awful, you're blah, 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 blah. I'm asking you to think about the sitting, all the sitting, because it's just not good for you. Number 5 is community. Don't go it alone. You are not the lone wolf. It doesn't work. When you're connected, you are connected to yourself as well and to God. Connection's everything. And all of these things, this is what builds vibrancy. This is what puts vibrancy into the bridge building that you have to do. It puts a little skip in your step. It helps you to see the vision of what you want for your life. It makes everything vivid. It creates velocity. I'm looking for all the V words right now. You can do this. If you want to live a vibrant life, you have to make a decision though. Do you want this? Because I'll tell you what, doing all these things, well, that's a payoff for all these good habits. You get this vibrancy in return. Those are your results. You get a bunch of other results too, and you get a bunch of other things that you're looking for and you're trying to create in your life. But the payoff, the big payoff, is that you get an exciting life to live. Not exciting as in like, oh, private jets and, exciting how some maybe big, rich Amazon Jeff Bezos guy would have, that would be their idea of excitement. Exciting in that this is your life and this is how you've created it and it just works for you. It's just exactly what you want. You get that. That's what vibrancy is. Don't you want that? I know I do. You ready for that? If you're ready for that, throw me some pinkies and some fireballs. I'll take them all. Juanita says, V-Week has given a voracious appetite for a vibrant life. Amen to that. I'm with Juanita. Do you have a voracious appetite for a vibrant life? I know that I do. And I also know that tomorrow is Sunday and we will be off. However, we will be here on Monday. I mean, Memorial Day is Memorial Day. And I'm going to tell you what, we are getting ready for the Hot Melt 30. And there's Tanya and Carol. They're throwing down the fireballs. And here comes a bunch of other pinkies, and I appreciate it. And I want you to be a part of the Hot Melt 30 because this is next level stuff. You can find out about it at savingdinner.com/30. We're on it because on Tuesday, June 1st, for the whole month of June, we're sprinting, we're doing all the things. And you know what else we're going to do? We're going to take this all the way to the next level. And you get to be a part of it. Excited? I am. Peace be with you. I will see you on Monday. Bye-bye.
Thanks for watching. You can find us on YouTube on the Saving Dinner channel or on the Saving Dinner Facebook page. Check back daily for new episodes, Monday to Saturday at 1 p.m. Eastern. If you missed the live show, you can watch the replay. Until next time, pinkies up.